This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes, for your half-assed entertainment news with no bullshit, with our hosts, the Baroness and Bear Fiorda, only on Talk 4 Media.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes. I'm your host, called The Wicked Witch of the West Coast by a very specific publication. I'm looking at you. And of course, my co-host, the baddest bear in the cage, and the only person that consistently makes me feel bad about myself because he gives all his money away to charity, Bear Fiorda. Also, I'm the Baroness, I'm Helene, but if you know that, that's probably why you're here.
So get ready to sit back, relax, enjoy your Hollywood glitz, cage grit, no bullshit information, news, and guests of the week. How's everyone doing today? I hope well. Thank you for that beautiful title, by the way, you gave me. That was very nice. The what was it? The bear that makes you feel bad or something like that?
The bear that makes you feel bad about yourself.
Why? What do I do to make you feel bad?
You give away all of your money to charity. I would like to point out, this week alone, you gave away a Chanel purse worth of money to children that aren't yours.
If it helps, it's the nonprofit that I run, donate my time to.
Why would that make me feel better?
Because it's like, mine or something or whatever. Doesn't that kind of help you feel a little better about something? Yeah, it's a nonprofit, but it's the nonprofit that I run and teach people martial arts for free and build their motivation, leadership, and confidence at no cost. Free MMA, Southern California. Check it out.
I could have had a Chanel purse.
You could have had many Chanel purses over the course of your life. You could have had Lady Dior. So I don't see where the blame falls on me.
I have plenty of purses. I'm just saying you give away a purse a week to random children. Well,
speaking of giving purses away to random children every week, let's talk about some royal and political news real fast.
Oh, if we want to go in political news, let's see. The United States, in a brilliant sweep, has declared Antifa a terrorist organization. By the way, Antifa just means an anti-fascist group. There is no actual organization. It's just a belief. Then they got an intern over at Fox News to dress up and say he was from Antifa. That was awesome. And
has he come out and denied it, though?
Oh, no, it's a whole thing. And the best part is, tip the hat, by the way, to Bob Iger. You are my idol. What he's done, oh my God, he's tribalized America in an unbelievable way. Essentially, he sells the right and the left, makes money off both, because hate and tribalism make far more money than liking each other. It's genius.
It also keeps you separated and less intelligent, so you don't stand up against an oppressive government.
Well, yeah, that's the point. You make people dumber and you take their money. That's the entire point. That's you guys that right now are dealing with a shutdown. That's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's unnecessary.
Oh, it's fantastic.
But so too was the last one.
Well, no, it's genius. So this one is over essentially government spending. And so what it is, right? Well, the best part is, so the Republican side has turned around to the Democrats and been like, hey, just sign this bill. We'll fix all the problems after the fact. Trust me, bro. It's essentially the political equivalent of, I'll just put it in a little bit.
That's an excellent line, by the way, fellas. Just a little bit.
Yeah. Not for the people that fall for it. And that is my tip to the other side. I think your Republicans are idiots and your Democrats are weak idiots. I really think what you guys need to do is come back to the Commonwealth. Think of it this way. If you're going to get stooped by your government,
yes,
at least you should have the health care for the abortion that's going to be required afterwards.
Why don't we just put computers in charge at this point, right? Let's just put an AI in the president in the Oval Office.
You already
let them. He's not an AI.
Oh, no, he's not an AI.
He's a puppet.
Well, yeah. But every president's
They're all puppets. That's what I'm saying. Put a computer in there.
It doesn't matter which side they come from. They're all puppets. That's the whole point. They're just a talking piece for wealthy people.
Let's put a Core i9 processor in the Oval Office and see how fast things get done. Okay, that's for my tech nerds out there.
I'm going to say this. You can want to do things the right way.
Yes.
But it doesn't pay to do things the right way.
Well, it doesn't also pay to do things the wrong way, because apparently in a rather viral incident, an ICE agent has been caught shoving a lady around on
Oh
camera,
no, that
right
was definitely
outside
the
of
wrong way.
immigration court.
Except he attacks this woman,
Yes.
shoves her down, gets fired. They pull a Jimmy Kimmel. Essentially, they fire, then reinstate.
Oh, they fired him, then just like
Mhm.
secretly brought him back in under the
Pretty
table or
much.
something.
That was the whole thing. You guys, again, I'm telling you, come back to the Commonwealth. Your politics is ridiculous here. And neither side's correct. They're both morons. But again, hats off to Bob Iger. He really tribalizes, and right and left news all come from him. It's really clever. Best marketing I've ever seen, at least since Goebbels.
Well, here's the thing.
And that was bad.
You're just capitalizing off people's hate for each other. That's all it is at the end of the day.
That's it is. That's how you ended up with, World War II, World War I.
Wait.
Vietnam.
I don't think World War II is capitalizing off people's hate. World War II was letting people's hate fuel their desire to wipe out another section of people.
But to wipe out that section of people, you had to direct the hate.
Yes, I agree
But
with
what
that.
America's done that's genius is they've directed it at each other. So rather than one individual group of people, they have convinced the right that the left are psychotic and going to destroy them. And they've convinced the left that the right are psychotic and going to destroy them.
You know what?
It's genius.
Since we jumped into World War II, let me give you an example. As we were obviously attacked at Pearl Harbor, we have a lot of pride and a lot of patriotism come up. So a lot of young men joined the war effort. On the flip side,
people were joining the war effort
on the flip
before
they
and
were
helping out England,
but it was really
and Australia.
They really got a lot of them do it after Pearl Harbor. That's when
it was
America
like 9/11. It was
fully
the same
jumped
thing.
into the war. But on the flip side, the Emperor of Japan and their propaganda spiel was the Americans are hateful devil dogs, and they are going to come and pillage, murder, and rape your women and children and steal all your food. So if you don't fight for every inch, you're going to lose your home and your family.
That is genius.
So they always push both sides.
That's actually genius, because hear me out on that. That was the same argument used on why people shouldn't be freed in the United States.
Freed? Oh, you mean like end of slavery?
The end of that. It was because they were going to rape women and children. There's actually, the very first film made was called Birth of a Nation. It was based on this white supremacist guy.
Shitty way to start off your industry, by the way.
Yeah, it was not like we had the best and brightest. It's like America. You guys had the Puritans. We had Birth of a Nation. Not the best and brightest to start the bunch, but essentially, it was this white supremacist idea. All of this pro-Confederate War of Northern Aggression nonsense didn't start until after Birth of a Nation, which was written by an all-out racist, and they only made it into a movie because nobody thought it would work, and they were given the book for free. Anyway,
speaking
news.
of incredibly dumb things to be pushed into the eyeballs and ears of the American population, apparently Tylenol causes autism, as we've learned in the last week or so.
No, it doesn't.
Are you sure it doesn't?
Yes.
Trump said it in front of everybody.
I actually feel very bad for Trump in this. I do not hold, and I'm going to say, I'm not a Trump fan. I'm not against Trump. I really don't care. I think your politics is stupid.
I think both sides suck.
So do I. But I think your politics is stupid. But I will say the advisors that sent him out to say that really put him in a bad position.
Is it?
Because he has to rely on his advisors.
He does.
And basically, it's bull. What causes autism now, and the reason you see more of it now, is because we have a way to detect it. We've also expanded what it means to have autism.
Yes, we have.
And 100 years ago, people with autism would have just been put in asylums, died in the street, or be working in mines. And because we didn't need people to read or be sociable, we just needed them to do backbreaking labor until they died. There was no need to diagnose
We still just
autism.
need people for that, unfortunately.
Oh, yes. But people with autism would just be like they are in third world countries, swept under the rug and die.
Now, how do we know that it's his aides or his advisors and not just him deciding this is what I'm saying?
It came out from RFK. So, and even RFK was given the information from his advisors. So the study that it was based on showed that large amounts of Tylenol in pregnant women caused liver enzymes to increase and cause liver problems, which could in turn cause fetal deformities.
Okay, so
and psychological.
It's not a direct route, but it's all possible.
So if I took over recommended amounts for an extended period of time. So imagine that someone read that study. And then said, well, RFK promised he'd find out in 10 months or the first year what caused autism, and we are out of time.
There you
we're going to go with this.
Okay.
So it's a great political maneuver.
I understand.
I feel
Saving
bad.
face.
I feel bad for Trump because he got pulled into a maneuver that's not his. But you see it with all the time with your politicians, and I feel bad for them. You know, it's those moments most of the time when you see a politician say something idiotic, it was someone told him to. The exception being George W., who is one of my favorite ex-presidents, because he's funny as hell. But when he was president, he didn't mean to be funny. It was so fish and people can coexist peacefully, and gynecologists can practice the love of their patients. Those moments are what I miss. I miss gaffes like that.
We miss those moments very much so.
But then again, he did get you into a whole war, so I suppose he had a little more trouble than just gaffes.
Yeah. You had to find those WMDs over in the Middle East.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Surprisingly, they were really, really close to the oil fields. They were like right on top.
Why don't you just do what we did and take over the countries and not pretend it's something else?
That's what you know.
Did with Hawaii.
Why don't we do it? That's what's Putin doing right now, and everyone seems all okay with it.
You say that's what Putin's doing, dude. You guys did it with Hawaii. You literally ousted the last queen of Hawaii when she tried to protect it.
And now you've made it.
Yep, Panama.
And it was so much
Puerto
more convenient
Rico.
too when they were being oppressed by a different ruling country. And then when we came in and oppressed them, they're like, "Hey, this oppression comes with food. We're not starving as much. We'll take it."
Brilliant.
Yeah.
We just tie people to cannons.
Like this. I do love this country. It's my home country.
We tie people to cannons.
I cannot stand the people in charge.
Well, you say that with every administration. It doesn't matter if the right wins or the left wins. You don't like anybody.
Let's put in a different party. Let's try a third party. You know what? I want the no parking meters on the beach party.
Hi, Daddy. I'm very glad you started a political party that went into government.
Father's party in Australia.
Yes, they were upset about the parking meters on the beach. That is something that can happen in countries that aren't America. You start a political party and they get into government because people like it.
Yes,
what else is going on in the news? I'm trying to.
They found a seal alive in a whale's mouth. How's that?
Was it
First of all, how do you get in there and not be crushed to death? Because some whales don't eat meat, obviously, blue whales, for example. But then, what are you doing?
Well, there was a guy that got swallowed by a whale not too long ago, and they spat him out.
I read a book about him and his like wooden doll or whatever. Wasn't Pinocchio eaten by the whale? Or is that am I thinking of a totally different story?
You're right. You're slow, but you're right.
All right, good. What is he doing?
There was an actual guy that was Pinocchio'd. He had his Jonah moment where the whale swallowed him, except he didn't spend 3 days in. He got gulped up and spat out, and it really did mangle him. He was in the hospital, so I'm not surprised a seal could come out the same way. What else is going on in the news?
An 8-year-old child drove her parents' car to the store.
Into the store or
to the store? To my knowledge, it didn't say into the store. It said to the store. So I guess, teach them young, right? I remember when I started learning how to drive, I was rather young. It was in a school parking lot with my mother, and she would guide me or like how to make the slow, subtle turns.
Were you 8?
And not run over everything. I was not 8.
If I was 8, I wouldn't have been able to reach the pedals.
8's kind of young. 8's kind of, well, to be fair, once you put it in drive, it just kind of goes. You don't need to hit the gas, really.
I insist. So I learned on sticks,
brake,
obviously. So the insistence in my family is you learn to drive a stick because then you can drive anything.
Yeah, I'm absolutely willing to agree with that. And I think we actually might have fully covered everything we need to talk about
today. What's going on in MMA? You have MMA news there. You have royal news.
We have everything written up so I don't forget about our news.
You had Prince William, who was...
Yes.
He was talking about missing the Queen and the hardest year of his life. I actually liked it. It really humanized him. And shout out to Eugene Levy. You're getting hot with age.
Who?
Eugene Levy, the comedian.
I've never heard of that name before.
You've never heard of Eugene Levy?
Maybe if I saw the face.
You know Eugene Levy. Oh my God. Can you guys believe? Oh, yeah. Shout out. We have a giveaway from Doodleverse with Bear. He's working with them. They're supporting free MMA. Please write into the show on any social media platform and tell him who Eugene Levy is. Because he knows who Eugene Levy is.
That's how you win the giveaway. Also, check out SSM Doodleverse on Instagram, and the link to all their wonderful products and beanies and accessories is in the bio. They donated to free MMA, so thank you so much again for doing that. Okay, so yes, but I've only ever seen him in like angry Italian roles.
No, like he's in Schitt's Creek. He's the dad in American Pie. He's fantastic.
I know the face. I just can't put him.
Did
in,
you
like,
just
many
mix him
things.
up with like Al Pacino?
Maybe I mixed him up with Al Pacino.
Please explain who Eugene Levy is and win a beanie from Doodleverse. Doodleverse is doing a giveaway. If you can make him come up with an answer to where he knows Eugene Levy
Where
for,
he knows
I'll give
Eugene
you a
Levy.
free beanie. I know it's his giveaway. I'll give you the beanie.
You know
from
who
Doodleverse.
I am certain also knows who Eugene Levy is?
Who?
Our wonderful guest, Jimmy. Sir, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, Jimmy Star.
Hey, you guys. How
Hello.
are you? Oh,
Good.
let's see. Can I make myself go sideways? There we go. Hi, you guys. How are you?
We're doing good.
Fantastic.
I have definitely know who Eugene Levy is, even though I didn't know if it was Levy or Levy, but either way, he's awesome. Schitt's Creek was the greatest show ever. And he also did a Tyler Perry show where he embezzled from the government. He was an accountant from the mob, and he had to hide out because he was going to testify against them. And he stayed with like Big Mama or whatever, like Tyler Perry. Medea. He stays with Medea.
Oh, I love that.
And it was a great movie.
I worked with him on Greg the Bunny when I was 16.
No, and I think he's super cute too. Yeah, and he's the dad in American Pie. He's been in a whole bunch of stuff, but I think Schitt's Creek was like almost one of my favorites. Schitt's Creek is really good.
If you're going to embezzle money from everyone, let it be the government. They can just print more.
That's not how any of that works.
Don't you love inflation? Like, am I the only one?
Everybody should see it, though. Everybody should see that movie. I don't know the name of it, but it's a really good movie. So just look it up.
We will track
Absolutely.
down the movie, and I will put out the name and I haven't seen it. I love Medea and I love Eugene Levy, so there's no reason I shouldn't have seen that. I'm definitely going to watch it. For those that do not know, Jimmy Star has his own show with Ron Russell that is amazing. You can find it. I will put up a link. He has also got his own horror cast coming out, and he's producing a TV show, a film/stage show with us that we're going to be talking about here. But Jimmy, can you tell everyone a little bit about who you are and where to find you?
Sure. First of all, I'm This is Jimmy Star on all social media: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and X. I host the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. We're pretty popular. We're also on the sister network to K4HD Radio, which is W4CY Radio out of Florida. Our show is 18 years old. We've had over 1 billion downloads. It's a lot of fun. We bring on a lot of fun, cool celebrity guests. And I am also a publicist. So I work with people in the entertainment industry as a publicist, and then I produce movies. I've produced like 40 something movies. I have a bunch on my slate now, plus what I'm going to be doing with you guys. And I used to write books, but I stopped, and now I just started doing them again. So I have a bunch of new books out.
Oh my God. How do you have time for all of this? I have time for nothing.
So I have 3 podcasts. One of them is called Dark Frights Horror News with Jimmy Star, and I do like horror movie review type stuff. Then I have another one called Collector's Corner with Jimmy Star that just got asked to be put up on the Hype magazine podcast list because like they really like it. And it's all about action figures because I collect action figures. And one of the types of action figures I collect are Funko Pops. So I actually wrote a book called Pop Goes the Collector, the Funko Enthusiast Guide to Collecting, Displaying, and Enjoying the Craze. It's been out for a couple of months. And then I just like writing cool fiction. So I've been writing ghost stories and young adult stories. So I have a bunch of stories that are just stories on Amazon that you can just buy the story. But then I have some of them that were big enough to go into a book. My favorite one, and it's got 21 5-star reviews so far. It's called The Silver Spies Trilogy. And it's about senior citizen spies. All the men are in their 70s. And it's like about 75-year-old James Bonds, saving the world.
That's
I love that.
Silver Spies
I love
trilogy.
that.
So each one is silver. So the first one is called Silver Spies. The second one's called Shadows of Tomorrow. The third one is Silver Spies Endgame Protocol. And what I did is I took each of the 3 short stories and I put them together in the one story.
I love that.
To turn it into a book. And eventually I'll turn it into a TV series, I think.
You
Sure.
said you have YA. Tubi has been asking me for YA. I don't have any YA.
Well, I have another book that I did. Now, why did my thing turn sideways? That's weird. Come back. What happened to me? Okay, well, I'll go this way. I like to make me wide, but it wasn't. There we go.
We got it.
Then I have this one, and it's called The Ashcroft Chronicles, and this is like a young adult wizarding type story about 5 wizards, uh,
Cool.
saving the world type thing. And it was 3 short stories also, and I put them together to make the complete book. And then I just did this one recently called The Obsidian Circle, and it's all I like warlocks, so I've done a bunch of warlock movies. I mean, warlock books, and this one has eight or nine reviews already, and it's only been out about a week.
Nice.
Um,
If you want any of the YA made into shows, send me it. Tubi's looking for it, and YA is not my will. Like I don't write at all, but I have almost no YA, so I've had to start reaching out to people. I didn't know you did that. I
Oh,
would have got the call.
so I have a bunch of books, and then I have a bunch of new ones getting ready to come out. So I wrote a lot of these things years ago, and I used to have a bunch of books on Amazon, but then I had written them with somebody, and he didn't want to be an author anymore, so we took them all down. But I decided, in my old age, I need other, forms of income, and I
I'm
don't have to depend on anybody with that. So I have like 3 other books that I wrote a long time ago. I'm just going in and editing them and cleaning them up. So I have 3 more that'll be coming out soon, and 2 of them are YA, and one of them's just flat out horror.
Oh, I love horror. So hang on. You have 3 podcasts. You are a publicist. You're producing. I know because we're working together. You're working actually with Trauma on an upcoming stage play film, and you have multiple projects coming out, and you write.
Yes.
Did I miss anything?
He's one
Not
of
yet.
us.
Right?
I don't know.
I'm
I
like,
work all the time. You know what though? Like
put me Batman.
in the economy of today, um, you really got to like do whatever you can do to make everything go. So I have a bunch of different income streams. All the podcasts make a little bit of money. The books are making money. I've only published the books, for the last like 2 months. I had them all written, but I put them all together and published them like in the last 2 months.
That's
And so I'm happy because I need reviews. So anybody, if you read any of my books, if you have a Kindle, they're free to read on Kindle. You guys, if you have a Kindle app, and leave a review, because I guess they say that reviews is what leads to sales. So I need to get reviews on all of them. I haven't really figured that part out yet.
Like, people want to trust other people when they
Yeah,
see the 5
it's-
stars. They think, hell yeah, it's got to be a great book. I'll check it out.
It's the organic advertising. It's gotten to a point where everyone can buy everything.
Right.
So when you see something that's organic engagement, you know it's good. It's the reason people don't trust influencers anymore. Is that everything's
they can be
bought.
bought. Yeah.
And so when you see organic, real engagement, you know what you're getting.
That makes
Oh,
sense.
and I have one other thing I want to show you. Hold on. Let me get it over here.
I swear to God, he's the most interesting person I've ever met.
So thank you.
Right?
So I collect action figures, and I have this movie called The Legend of the Bunny Man, and I've got a lot of interest in it right now. So I'm hoping that I get it financed before Christmas. But I already made action figures for it because I collect action figures. So this is a 12-inch Bunny Man action figure, and with his axe, and then this is a 3.5-inch Bunny Man action figure. And this is a 6-inch one, but it was the prototype for the first one, and it's not going to get done like this.
Ooh.
No, that's
I didn't actually like this one like I like the other ones. The other ones really match the poster and everything better, but I'm keeping him anyway because he's like a one of a kind.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
He blows
so
up.
when-
It'd be worth millions.
Mhm.
that's right. When Bunny Man overtakes Art the Clown,
Mm-hmm.
for like the best horror icon person, and I make a ton of money, then I'll have the original one that never came out because it's going to take over. Bunny Man's going to take over. I've already got ideas for all the subsequent stories.
No,
I
that's
love
good.
that.
And of course, you're like the best person to
Well,
produce
oh god, yeah.
anything.
Well,
horror at
that
this
was
point.
one of the things when Trauma had come to us and like, hey, we want to do this. It's kind of like a Hamilton where it's a streamed show, but it's doing stage and it's being streamed to television and it's doing this and it has to be done right because we want to do multiple in this series. I'm like, I know who I'm calling.
Exactly.
I love everything horror. I really do. That's why when I finish the next couple of YA novels that I've already like almost got finished, then I'm going to go straight into horror because I already created like 5 new horror characters.
Really?
That I think will be spooky and scary, to go because I basically want to like create a bunch of different iconic horror, characters. that stand out on their own. The next Freddy, the next Jason, the next Pinhead, the next Art the Clown.
We're due for that. We haven't. I think Candyman. We had a moment.
Oh yeah, Candyman was a good one too.
But everything's been it's been dead in horror for a hot minute, and horror is really the genre that you can have the most impact. I think Paranormal Activity was the last time we had kind of a moment with horror, and that was the poor man that made that. Didn't tell any of his friends or family what he was doing. Made this film. He sees people running out of the theater, and apparently he gets really upset. He's like, oh my God, I've made the worst film ever. He didn't realize he'd scared the devil out of everyone. So I think that was kind of the last moment in horror. And we haven't had any, really new horror stars, I think, since like Freddy and Jason. Everything's just been rehashed.
I think I will say this. I do think Art the Clown will probably, if he's not there now, will eventually get himself into that position where he'll be remembered along with the greats.
I don't think he'll hit the same mark. I just don't.
Well, we know Bunny Man will.
I think Art the Clown might, just because like I was just in Spirit Halloween and they have a 30-foot wall of everything just Art the Clown.
Yeah.
That's pretty big when you get in there to do that. And really I don't like Art the Clown. I mean, I actually have a collectible Art the Clown that's worth like a lot of money, but I don't really like Art the Clown, but I have such respect for what they have done to take this character to make Art the Clown, but I don't believe that the stories are any good, because really there's really no story to it. Basically, he just runs around, kills people, but the stories are actually terrible. So I think if they had a better story, I think it would be better. But you cannot knock the fact that, they took a movie and made a movie for like $5 million and it did like $100 million. You can't beat that.
I think the only one that went ahead of that was Blair Witch. And it's fun. Now when I get proposals, everyone always used Blair Witch. They're like, here's the example. I'm like, buddy, it's never going to get there. Like that is a unicorn. It's never going to happen. I'm seeing a lot of that now. They're actually using Art the Clown
everybody uses Art the Clown.
I'm like, you're not getting there. It's not going to happen. Let's look at this realistically. But I do agree with you. I think I always look at it this way. Niches are riches. If you can get into a niche, you can make a lot of money. And because of how fragmented we are socially now, everyone's in their own niche online. And it's been a long time since we had an overwhelming movement, since everyone was listening to the same music or watching the same television or hearing the same news or hearing the same anything.
Right.
And I think that characters like Freddy transcend, came before that niche. I think Bunny Man can do that. I think horror is something that really can pull people together. Look at The Ring. Look at some of these horrors that did come out when social media was a thing. Paranormal Activity, Saw. They came out when social media existed and they were able to pull people together. So I think horror can still hit in a way that a lot of other films and niches can't. I think it's one of the few that transcends its own niche.
I've taken a bunch of the different posters and graphics and just, promotional things I've made for Bunny Man. They say, you shouldn't promote things a whole bunch, because I'm not financed yet, but like I've been doing all kinds of promote to get the name out there. And so all the different things that I've done, I've got over 20 million plays.
That's amazing.
On all the little videos and stuff that I've like put out, so I put out a lot of them, but
I don't know who told you not to do that. That makes your IP more valuable. It means you're coming in with a recognizable IP with an existing following.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have a very existing following, and I'm actually learning how to make comic books too through ChatGPT.
Are you serious? Amazing.
ChatGPT, you can actually I took one of the books that I wrote and I stuck the script in there, and it made a comic. It didn't do all the text right the way it should have, like all the wording and stuff. I haven't got that part quite figured out, but it did all the graphics and everything, and it was beautiful. I made a 30-page comic book.
Okay, that's amazing.
So I think the technology will get better, and so then I will make a Bunny Man comic book, and I'll do all that stuff to go along with it. But I'm already like looking into like making like blankets. Like Art the Clown has blankets and Lunchbox has everything, and I'll have all the like stuff lined up before I ever make the film probably. And because it's not a super big budget, I think that it'll recoup its money and make a lot of money.
No, absolutely. And I think that's wonderful. You're already creating so many things for people to take home, put in their bedrooms, see every single day. And then one day, Bunny Man's going to be a movie or a production. Now you have dedicated fans who are going to go pay and watch it no matter
you're
what.
creating the Barbie effect. Essentially, you're selling the product, you're selling the doll, you're selling the merch before the film. That works very well in your favor as long as the film's good, and we know the film's going to be good.
Yeah, the film's going to be good, and action figures now are something like they're anticipating in the next like 5 years. Action figures will be like I forgot what the number is, something like a $25 billion a year business.
It's
action figures are big.
Look at the situation with Labubu. Look at the situation with it's not that.
And beat to death,
so the worse the economy gets, the more people get into lipstick luxury. So you want these things that you can hold and keep, and action figures are something that retain value. So it makes sense. I really like that idea.
Yeah, I can see
and
that.
It's gotten to the point now too that you can make your own. Like I'm hoping for Christmas I'm going to get a 3D printer.
Oh,
but here, like I'll show you, like my favorite nemesis superhero. His name is Conquest, and this is actually made with a 3D printer.
Oh, that is so
awesome!
Cool.
And first of all, the entire show Invincible is beautiful, and I love you have a Conquest.
I have two one-of-a-kind Conquest action figures. Both of them were. This one's not made with a 3D printer though, and this one is. And now I just noticed at Comic-Con they're coming out with Invincible action figures for Conquest. They're coming out with one for him, but because I've had this for like a year. But this is made with a 3D printer, and so I'm gonna be able to make any action, all the different horror movie ideas concepts that I write stories and stuff about. I will be able to make action figures for all of them eventually.
I love that.
Which I think is a very, a cool thing in Conquest. I just like him because, I have this thing for like hot old men. And he's like all muscular and bald with the big mustache. He's sexy.
I'm into it. I get it.
Do they also have to beat teenage children? Do they have to beat children for you to be really into it too, or is that just a
Conquest? No, it's just a Conquest one. There's just something about him I think is super cool. And I did a show too. I did a Collector's Corner show just on Conquest, and people seem to like it a lot because he's a popular character, and and I just like I like anything that's superhero. I mean, Batman's my favorite. I have like 1 million Batmans and Batmobiles, and I have autographed Batmobiles with everybody who played Batman. I have like one that's signed by George Clooney, one that's signed by Robert Pattinson, one by Ben Affleck.
That is.
Do you have one from TV's Adam West?
I do not have one from TV's, but believe it or not, I've met him a bunch of times. I got a bunch of pictures with Adam West.
You collected the Batmans.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes, so I just have tons of Batman stuff, and I've always just liked him. I mean, I like everything, but Batman, out of all the Batman, Superman, and all those kind of people, Batman is my favorite one.
Batman's one of the best.
I want to say, go ahead.
I will say it's funny. One of the things I talk about, and I say it at Comic-Con, and I've said it when I lectured over at USC, is the most important part of your IP is your product branding, because the film's going to make money, but the product is where you're going to make your money. It's going to be the merchandising.
Yeah.
And you could not have done this more perfectly. You have hit every, if you teach a course in business school, you have hit product branding on this beautifully. You couldn't have done it more perfectly. I'm really, really impressed. That is something you should talk about. Really is very, very impressive.
And
you were saying?
Well, what I was going to say is that I'm very happy that particular Conquest segment did great on your other podcast. But I think after 3 podcasts, books, social media channels, it's not so much about the subject. It's you, Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's you. The people are really happy and excited.
When you have that broad array, it just comes down to they just like to see you passionate.
Oh, I would like to think that's a nice thing to think, and maybe that's true. But I really just enjoy life and pop culture. So that's why your show is actually so cool, because basically you guys talk about pop culture,
Right.
and that's what everybody wants to see, and that's what everybody wants to hear. And I've worked on so many movies, but I have not worked on movies that were my ideas. Like Bunny Man, I didn't write the script, but I worked with someone to write the script, but it's my idea, my concept, what he looks like. I created, everything of what he's going to look like, and so I'm really excited to work on a project that's mine from day one, because I always go in and work on other people's projects where they created it all, and so this will be the first one that I've created it 100%.
You're already working with Lloyd for the Poultrygeist. why don't we set up a conversation? I know you'll require more than Lloyd usually gives, but at least a partial investment from Troma on it.
Oh, that would be fun. I actually, believe it or not, I actually talked with this guy on Friday who's I don't want to say who he is, but he runs one of the biggest hip hop magazines in the world, actually, and he's the one who wants me to put my podcast up. And he basically said, "Oh, I didn't know you were looking for money for films, and I do know some people." So he was just on Friday, yesterday. I sent him a bunch of stuff on Bunny Man. Because I'm only looking for $600,000. It's not like I need millions of dollars.
Okay, maybe you could just get it. I was like, I'm millions. I was like, that's why I'm like, Troma can like partially.
No, we're gonna do it the same way Art the Clown did. He did the first one for like 200,000. The second one I think was like 2 million, and the third one's like 5 million. I'm gonna do the same thing. The first one's for 600,000. We're gonna get it to make a lot of money. Then we'll take the money we make to make the sequels.
Guys, if you're watching this show, I know a lot of you come on for life advice, what to do in the entertainment industry. Listen to what he is saying from a marketing perspective. It is the absolute right way to handle business, no matter what your business is. You do it for as little as you can, you get known for doing it, and you reinvest in yourself and product or project. It is absolutely the right way to do it. Sorry, that was just a side.
No, that's good. And it really is, I've worked on all kinds of budgets. I have 3 films out right now, and I didn't have creative control, so I don't think they're the best films ever, but they're all made for like 50 grand each, and they're all distributed all over the place. And they look pretty good, but this film, Bunny Man, will look absolutely, phenomenal. I actually put a notice up on Facebook with the picture of Bunny Man saying, we're looking for funds, and I had like the guy who's playing the lead bad guy, the lead monster in the new Five Nights at Freddy's, contacted me, and it's 2 people who played the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, everybody contacted me, like, who's going to play Bunny Man? Everybody wants to play Bunny Man, because if it blows up, that's you're set forever.
Right.
And you can go to sign autographs at Comic Cons every weekend, and make a bunch of money just signing stuff because you were Bunny Man. So I think that it'll be a cool thing.
Does Bunny Man have a lot of dialogue, or is he more physical?
He's physical.
That means if you grab someone, say even from the WWE, or somebody with an existing following, that would be an easy way to pull in that audience, as long as it doesn't require actual acting. No offense to the WWE.
All it takes is to be able to walk around and fucking chop people up. He doesn't speak at all.
Perfect.
There's no lines. Bunny Man has no lines whatsoever. Everybody else has lines, but Bunny Man has 0 lines. He doesn't speak at all. He's just, kills people, and he's got a very unique backstory, and he's also got a very unique way of who he decides who's going to die.
So
he doesn't just kill anybody. He kills people for an actual specific reason.
That means you could get the Jake Pauls, you could get the WWE fighters, you can get somebody who's already got that audience without a strong need to act, just the physicality behind it.
Yes.
Now that is very, very good. And that's a good way to pull.
That said, do you have someone in mind you want to play this role? Who is your Bunny Man?
Well, I've been considering, actually, I don't know if I can say it, I guess, but I'm considering Douglas Tate. He's been the monster he's played Jason and Freddy. He's played everybody basically. But I think he's young and got a big following. What I really want for the cast, cast of Bunny Man, is I want people who go and sign autographs all the time. There's a bunch of people that that I'm considering for the roles, because every weekend they're signing autographs someplace, and that's the way you're going to get more people to know about the film, is by if they're gone 30 weeks a year, at conventions signing horror stuff. I think that's a good way to get it out to a broader audience. So a lot of the people I think will be doing that. I'm also the people that I'm considering for some of the roles are a little bit have different backgrounds and everything, because it's got a bunch of seedy characters in it, and so it's also got a little person character in it. And we were thinking of getting the guy who plays the Oompa Loompa in Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka is a friend of mine. I can't think of his names right off the top of my head. And we're thinking about getting the heavyset guy from Borat, because he's a friend of mine, and he can play a seedy person because he was in Cobra Kai. And so yeah, we'll have to see how it all like works out. I need an older woman, like a cool older woman. We were gonna think about possibly Patrika Darbo because she's like an Emmy winner, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna go. I might go FICOR, and so then I would have to find people who are not that can work, in non-SAG movies because at 600,000, it's going to be hard to get these bigger,
The
names at
new,
such a little bit of money.
the new rules under after the last strike, you can waiver out if you consider it an art project. So because this is they would not be able to for the second one, but for the first one, you could literally waiver everyone out under
Yeah,
the.
so we may work on that, and so we'll just kind of like have to see. I got to get the money before I can do anything else. And I don't think it's going to be as hard. When I started out, I wanted to try to do a big budget thing, and then I was like looking at how I can actually do it, and I was like, I don't need all that money to do it. And basically, out of the 600,000, I think I have 33% of that is basically like for my cast.
Yeah.
So I'm really going to make the movie for like about 350 probably.
Are you
And the rest of it's for cast.
How much AI are you looking at, or are you looking at practical? Not AI.
Only I'm looking at practical effects. There's one scene, where like a little town burns down, and so that'll be my most expensive thing to do. We have to create fire, but the director's done it before, so I think it'll mostly be practical effects. I don't think there'll be a lot of AI involved in it.
I like that.
Even though I am learning how to do cool AI stuff, though.
Mm-hmm.
I have another friend who's creating a film all with AI, and everything he creates is just sick. I mean, it looks really good.
It's becoming more advanced every day.
Have you reached out to Tubi about this?
No, I haven't reached out to anybody. First, I'm trying to get the money to make it, and then
why don't you make them for you to make it?
Oh, that would be kind of cool. Only thing is, like, I don't know if they would like let me use my own people or not, because like I've already got.
They would have some requirements. I'll go through them with you after, but I know Tubi is looking for content, and they are right where. So for anyone out there, once upon a time back in the day, there was Searchlight that had a lot of room, no mandates, and could bring forth anything they liked. Tubi is now in that position. There are like 5 guys that run the whole thing, and they literally only bring forward content they enjoy. It is fully artistic, fully free, and one of the most interesting. Everyone else we work with has really strong mandates, and no complaints. I don't mind working within those mandates. But Tubi was actually really hard for me to deal with because I've never had anyone go, well, at least not since Searchlight, turn around and say, yeah, if we like it, we like it. If we want to fund it, we fund it. We just kind of do what we want. I'm like, oh, damn. Like, no safety rails. Got it.
It's the best way to do it.
No, it's not.
I'll tell you, like, so because getting money for the more expensive movies is hard. I do have one movie I'm working on with a really big budget, and there's a possibility actually, like, if there's somebody interested in it. But I also just put together a slate for another investor, and I put I think it's 7 films that I can do 7 films for 3.2 million, and so I'm kind of also working in the lower 250 to 350 range on films, because those films will make their money back.
Right.
I have a $9 million film. $9 million, that's a lot of money. It might not make it potentially could not make its money back, but I'll make money back on a $300,000 film, $400,000 film. So I'm kind of exploring both avenues.
You have to really work not to make money back on a few $100,000 for a film. Like, that requires effort. You have to really try. That's like Hitler in springtime. You have to really try, and you'll probably still make your money back.
Yes. So I think it'll be really good. I'm having a good time with all of it. I just kind of like have a good time in general.
No, that's important. You want to enjoy what you're doing.
What advice would you give to young people? I know a lot of young guys especially watch this because of Bear, that want to get into the entertainment industry, want to do their own podcasts, want to do their own comic books. I mean, you have so many directions. What advice would you give to people who are starting out in the arts?
I think the biggest thing is to don't be afraid to take a chance. My parents, I come from a different generation. So my parents, they were like, you got to go to school, you got to get a college degree, you got to go get a regular 9 to 5. So you have a regular paycheck, and everything like that. And really, you don't need to do that. I didn't really start doing what I wanted to do till I was in my 30s. probably, because I went the safe route and I saved a bunch of money in the safe route, and then I went and did my own thing with the money that I saved. Um, and I think that, you have there's no security, so it is, more difficult to do, but also like if you're doing what you love and you can make a living, doing what you love. I make less money now than I did when I worked in corporate America, but I'm happy now. I was not happy working in corporate America.
What was your corporate America job? If you don't mind me asking.
I worked in retail. I like managed. Actually, I worked for a company called Brahams for 25 years, and this is really before Marshalls became really big, but they had outlet stores in Florida. We had like 5 outlet stores, and I managed all 5 of them, and um, I made a lot of money. I was like 25, making almost $200,000 a year,
Wow.
and I saved a ton of money. I went and bought a house and I bought cars, and I blew a lot of money because one thing, biggest advice I would give everyone is if you're young and you're making a lot of money, don't blow it all. Because when I was young, I thought, oh, this will never end. I'll always make this kind of money, and then when you don't, it creates a big problem. So I would do stupid things like, I would go to Neiman Marcus every month and spend $5,000 buying like Gucci and fucking Versace clothes and stuff like that, which I think out of all the hundreds of thousands of dollars I spent, I think I have one shirt left, out of it. So I would say spend some of the money, but you know what, save the money that you're making, because just because you're making a lot of money now doesn't mean it's going to last forever. And I think that, unfortunately, I think people go and they blow it all, and then they don't have it for the future. And it's very important to always think about your future.
I love that. It's on top of everything else we talked about today. I think that's really important advice, no matter what field you're going into.
Well,
yes,
we've got society as a whole. We have some parole drift, which is essentially where what used to be considered very low class habits are creeping into upper classes, and so on and so forth. What used to be considered problematic has been normalized. One of the more problematic things that has been normalized is the use of the word like treat yourself, look after yourself, self-care, and it's been used to push commercialism and capitalism, so people do overspend. They normalize spending. I'm certainly I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on jewelry. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on handbags over an extended period of time, and I think I could have definitely bought a house with what I've spent on jewelry. I've bought houses anyway, but I'm just saying if I was ever in trouble, if not for people like yourself, like my uncle, people that have said, hey, this is really stupid,
don't do it,
I would have kept doing that. And I think that's something you see with a lot of young men that get into sports, and a lot of guys that get famous quickly, and a lot of girls that get famous quickly, especially online. They blow up, their lifestyle expands with the income, and then gone.
MC Hammer is a perfect example, Al.
Oh my God.
MC Hammer, you guys, he was making like so much money, but he took 32 people with him everywhere he went. So he spent more money supporting all the people with him, and he was making like $100 million a year, and he was spending more than that to take his posse with him everywhere. He ended up losing using all his money.
Also,
people bleeding you.
Known Crips affiliate, and actually when a separate rap group of 2 guys made a diss track about him, they came to LA to do promotion and do a couple live shows. They actually got a message to their agent, and the message was like, hey, don't let these guys walk around in public out here, they'll get shot, because they dissed MC Hammer.
Really?
Yeah, it's a way longer story to it, but I never thought MC Hammer was like
here
that.
I was going to move into here I'm going to like move into Wesley Snipes and not paying taxes and stuff, and you're like, it's way worse than that. That was so MC Hammer. Oh wow. So I love that. So Tupac was like a pretend gangbanger, and MC Hammer sold himself as family friendly and was an actual gangbanger.
Yeah, MC Hammer will get could put hits out on people. I never would have thought about that.
That's funny. I have a really good friend, BNGB, and she was in a girl group who also was part of MC Hammer's posse back in the day. She's a phenomenal singer, and she used to tell us fabulous like stories. She was in a group, I forgot what it was called, like Oaktown 357 or something, or I don't know. Mm-hmm. And anyway, but she's had a bunch of hits, and she actually wrote a ballad called Love, which was like my wedding song. When we got married, that was the song we used.
So sweet.
Sweet.
It's a beautiful song. I think too, you're gonna run out of time, right? Are we over our time?
I think we are. I think we're coming.
We're getting very close to, if not yet.
Can you give everyone a shout out to where to find you on social media?
Sure. Just go at This Is Jimmy Star, and you can find us everywhere. You can also check out my books. If you don't want to go on Amazon, you can go to jimmystarauthor.com. And you can also go to jimmystarsworld.com. That has everything on it also. And our show is Wednesdays from 12 to 2 p.m. on W4CY Radio. And this week we have a famous trauma actress, Debbie Rochon, coming on. She's a scream queen, really big from the day. And so we have her coming on. And if you check out our show 2 weeks ago, we had Dee Wallace and Stephen Mocht, who is the father in The Monster Squad. And both have great resumes, and it was a great show, and it's like kicking ass and blowing up all over the place. So check it out.
We have giveaways. We have the Doodleverse giveaway, and we have a giveaway from Off-Road Rentals. Watch Jimmy's show. Tell me what you think, what your favorite episode is, and why. And the first person to DM me with that gets a free ride at Off-Road Rentals in Palm Springs, California. The first person that can tell me why film makes the world a better place and how Jimmy contributes to it gets a Doodleverse beanie, courtesy of Bear. I'm stealing it from Don't Tell. Quick shout out to A Loft in Harlem. You can have Bear.
Yes, thank you.
He's going to be there next week.
Thank you for partnering with us.
And Jimmy, thank you so much for being on the show. Guys, when I'm telling you to take Jimmy's advice, this is something personal as well. The first person I sought out when trauma came to me, we're doing a stage series that is reliant, of course, on the first one. They're also doing a behind the scenes, and they're doing a life of trauma, all back to back to back. First person I sought out was Jimmy. You got to have people that know what they're doing in life. So
thank you. I appreciate it. And it's fun. We're going to have a blast.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Guys, this is Behind the Scenes. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Oh, please. Bear always says, eat well, sleep well, train hard. I'm going to tell you this. Make good choices. Make money. And remember, the choices you are making today will follow you tomorrow. So pull your head out your ass.
Good night.
See you next week.
This has been Behind the Scenes with the Baroness and Bear Fiorda. Only on Talk 4 Media.